My dear children, you are all warmly welcome to our Vidya Lakshmi YouTube channel. I am Mrs. Lata from Botany Department. So today we are going to see the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, I hope I will make you to understand this topic very easily. Shall we enter to the class? So, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. This is the first chapter in the 12th standard botany. So, what is the sexual reproductions? Okay, sexual reproduction means that is your male and female gametes are fused together to forming a zygote, isn't it? So, what are the characters of sexual reproductions? So, in the sexual reproductions, two parents are involved. Okay, that male and female parents, that is a male and female gametes are fused together here. It means two parents are involved. That is known as a biparental in condition. So, what is a uniparental in condition? That is the asexual reproduction. This is a biparental. Biparental means there is a male and female gametes are fused together. Okay, that is a n plus n. So, n plus n, that is a 2n. So, one is act as a male, another one is a female. Okay, the gametes are always formed. That is a male and female gametes are formed here. And fertilization takes place. What is the fertilization? That is a syngamy takes place. The male and female gametes are fused together. That process is known as a fertilization. So, there is mitotic and meiotic cell division is occur. Okay. So, what is a meiotic cell division? That is a reduction divisions. So, due to the cell divisions, the male and female gametes are formed. Okay. So, daughter organism genetically differ from their parents. So, due to the sexual reproductions, definitely the offsprings are differ from their parents. They are not identical to the parents. Okay. The multiplication not so rapid as in sexual reproduction. The multiplication will occur in the sexual reproduction, but it's not rapid as in the asexual reproductions. And what is the mitotic divisions? Mitotic division which gives rise to the same number of chromosomes to the offsprings, that is identical to the parents. Okay, but in the meiotic division, as a result of meiotic division, the offsprings are differ from their parents. So, these are all the characters of sexual reproduction. Okay, children, shall we enter to the next topic? So, what is the definitions of sexual reproductions? What is the definition? Sexual reproductions involves the production and fusions of male and female gametes. Okay, that process is called gametogenesis. Okay, gametogenesis means the formations of the gamete, that is known as a gametogenesis. And the later this process is known as a fertilization. So, what is a fertilization? This is a syngamy. Fertilization is called, that is a syngamy. Syngamy. Okay. So, where the fertilization is occur in the angiospermic plants. What is angiospermic plants? They are the flowering plants. Okay, that is a phanerogerms. Cryptogerms means there is a non-flowering plants. Okay, the sexual reproduction is occur in the angiospermic plants. Okay, so what is that? Sex organs, that is a site of sexual reproductions in the plants. So, எந்த ஆர்கன்ல வந்து sexual reproduction நடக்கும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா that is a flower. The flower is the site of sexual reproduction. So, do you know the structure of the flowers and parts of the flowers? That is you already studied in the earliest classes, isn't it? So, this is your fertilizations that the male and female gametes are fused together. Okay, that is one is the egg, another one is a sperm that is undergoing the fusion to form a zygote. Okay, the zygote will give rise to the embryo. From the embryo, the organisms will arise. And what are the types of fertilizations? The fertilizations are two types. One is the external fertilization, another one is the internal fertilizations. So, what is the external fertilizations? The fertilization will occur in the outside the body of the organisms. Okay, that is in the external environment. So, that is takes place in the algae, okay, and bryophytes. So, they have an external fertilization. So, this is otherwise called, that is your exogamy. So, what is a syngamy? We studied, that is your fertilization. So, external fertilization, this is known as a exogamy. Exogamy. Okay. So, here the male and female gametes are released to the external environmental, then which is undergoing the fusion to form a zygote. Okay. They need water. Okay, that fusion will take place in the water. The fertilization of bryophytes and pteridophytes. So the water is the medium for the fertilizations. Okay, and it has here 3 types of fusion occur in the algae or in that bryophytes. Okay, so 3 types of gametic fusion is occur. So the first one is a isogamy, second one is a anisogamy, and third one is a oogamy. So what is a isogamy? So the both gametes are similar to each other. Yeah, the both are in the morphologically and physiologically so similar to one another. So that is isogamy. And anisogamy, this is a so one of the gamete is smaller in size, another one is a bigger in size. That is a anisogamy. That's a morphologically differ in their structure. And another one is a oogamy, that is a physiologically differ and morphologically also differ. That is a so one is motile and another one is a non-motile. So which is the motile here? So which one has a flagella? This is a motile. This is a non-motile. Okay, that is a male has a motile and the female has a non-motile. Okay, it has here 2 different gametes. Okay, so actually the gametic fusion is 3 types in the bryophytes and algae. Okay, so the gametes are fused to one another. Isogametes are similar gametes are fused to one another, and anisogamy dissimilar gametes are fused to one another. And here that is a morphologically, physiologically dissimilar gametes are fused to one another. Okay, this is a 3 types of gametic fusion in algae, and another one is a bryophytes. Okay. So this is we can see in the algae particularly. And next, what is the internal fertilization? Internal fertilization is otherwise called, that is your endogamy. This is otherwise called, this is endogamy. Endogamy. So this type of fertilization is occur in the higher plants. Okay, we know the structure of and site of the sexual reproductions in the higher plants, that is the flower. Okay, so this is takes place inside the body of the organism, that is known as a internal fertilizations. Can you give the example for internal fertilization where which will be occur? So that is takes place in the higher plants. So this is very important one mark. So what are the example for the internal fertilizations and example for the external fertilization? And next we are going to see the changes involved in the sexual reproductions of higher plants. So what are the changes is occur? So during the fertilization or previous fertilizations or after the fertilizations. Okay. So the first we are going to see the pre-fertilizations. So what will happen in the pre-fertilizations? Pre-fertilization la enna vishayala nadakkum appdin pathina, the first one is a gametogenesis. Okay, gametogenesis. So what is the meaning of gametogenesis? The formation of the gametes are known as a gametogenesis. Okay. Next, the gametes are transferred. The gametes are transferred. And what about in the fertilizations? Here the fusion will occur. Okay, that is a gametes are fused together to forming a zygote. The zygote will develop into embryo. Okay. So what about the post-fertilization? The post-fertilization, so the zygote is formed. Okay. This takes place in the post-fertilization. That is, a zygote is formed and zygote is developed into embryo. From the embryo, we can see the organism. Okay. So this is your stages involved in the sexual reproductions of higher plants. Okay, one is a pre-fertilizations, another one is a fertilizations, and third one is a post-fertilization. So first we are going to discuss about the pre-fertilizations. So what are the changes in the flower? Okay, what are the changes in the plants? Actually, so first initially the floral buds are arised on the plants. Okay, so that will develop into a flower. So actually the hormonal and structural changes in the plant which leads to differentiation and development of the floral primordium. Okay, so kandipa plants ku or hormonal changes irukku. So due to the hormonal changes they gives rise to a flowers. Okay, that is the name of the hormone vernalin and florigen is very important for that changes. Okay, so vernalin, another one is a florigen. That hormones are responsible for the formations of flowers and buds. Okay. So that is a hormonal and structural changes in the plant lead to the differentiation and development of the floral primordium. So what is the structure of a flower? So in the flower consists of two important regions. Okay, one is the essential whole, another one is a non-essential whole. So what are called the essential whole? The essential wholes are involved in the fertilization. Essential whole அப்படினு சொல்லக்கூடியது fertilizationல involve பண்ணும். Non-essential whole that is not directly involved in fertilization, but they have to support it for that. Okay, so what are the non-essential wholes? That is your calyx and corolla. That is considered as a non-essential whole. They have to protect the internal organs. That's the essential whole வந்து protect பண்ணக்கூடியதே in the calyx and corolla. Okay, so what is a calyx? A number of sepals are together to forming a calyx. Okay, a number of petals are together to forming a, that is a corolla. Okay, so the calyx is green in color, that is involved in photosynthesis. So what about in the corolla? So that is your colored petals. Okay, we can see the different colors. So this is a white, that is a colorless, or that is a yellow color, or that is a pink color. We can see the different color of petals in the hibiscus variety. Isn't it, children? Okay, so what about in the essential whole? That is your androecium and gynoecium are considered as your essential whole. So what is in the androecium? So the androecium is made up of a number of stamens. Okay, so this is each stamen consists of, this is a filament and this is a anther. Okay, it has a filament. The stalk of the stamen is considered as a filament and it has a anther. Okay, so what is in the anther? The anther consists of a pollen grains. Okay, so the pollen grains are present in the anther. Okay, the pollen grains are the first cell of male gametophyte. So what is the structure of anther? Anther பாத்தீங்க அப்படினா, it is a bilobed in structure. இதுல வந்து two lobed இருக்கும். இந்த மாதிரி two lobes இருந்துச்சுனா, that is a bilobed in structure. So this is your filament and it has your two lobed in structure. Okay, it is a bilobed in structure. It has a two theca. So number 1 and 2, it has a two thecas are there. Each theca consists of a two microsporangia. Each theca consists of two microsporangia. So totally 4 microsporangia in the bilobed structure. Okay, the 4 microsporangia is a tetrasporangiate in conditions. So 4 microsporangia is a tetrasporangiate in conditions. Okay, this is your male part of the flower. So what about in the female part of the flower? Female part of this is your gynoecium. The gynoecium consists of, that is your ovary. This region is consists of ovary. And this is your style and stigma is present. Okay, and stigma. Okay, so this is your ovary, style and stigma is your, that is a female part. Okay, the number of carpels are together to forming a gynoecium. Okay, this is your essential part and calyx and corolla is a non-essential part. Okay, so here what is the perianth? Perianth means when the calyx and corolla is not differentiated, so that region is considered as your perianth. Okay, that is we will see in that monocot plants and some of the dicot plants also we can see here. That is a single whole. Okay, that calyx and corolla is not differentiated. Differentiate பண்ண முடியாது. ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும். ரெண்டு holes இருந்தா கூட ஒரே மாதிரியான அதுல வந்து tepals. Okay, நம்ம எப்படி calyx வந்து each segment of the calyx வந்து sepal னு சொல்றோமோ, அதே மாதிரி each segment of the perianth is considered as a tepals. Okay. So male reproductive part already we discussed. So what is the male reproductive part? That is the androecium is considered as a male reproductive part. The androecium is made up of a number of stamens. Okay, number நிறைய stamens சேர்ந்தது தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் androecium அப்படினு சொல்றோம். Each stamen is possess a anther and filament. So this is your filament. This region is a filament. This is your anther. Okay, so the anther bears a pollen sacs. That is a pollen grains or which is present in the pollen sacs. Okay, the pollen sacs. How many pollen sacs are there? It has a 4 pollen sacs. 4 lobed is there. Okay, it's a 4 microsporangia is there. So that is known as a tetrasporangiate in conditions. Okay, 2 lobed irundha tetrasporangiate. Single lobed irundhuchuna that is a bisporangiate in condition. They have a monotheca in condition. It has a bitheca. Then 2 thecas are present. Okay. and anther bears the pollen grains. The pollen grains are the first cell of the male gametophyte. Okay, the male gametophyte enga irundhu form aagudhu, that is formed from the pollen grains. So next we are going to see the development of anther, how the anther is developed and liberated the pores. Okay, so எப்படி இப்போ யங் ஆந்தரா இருக்கக்கூடியது மெச்சூர் ஆந்தரா மாறி அதுல இருந்து போலன் கிரைன்ஸ் வந்து எப்படி லிபரேட்டட் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கறத பார்க்க போறோம். ஓகேவா? So the development of anther during this stage, it's a very young and so developmental stage. Okay, very young anther. So nalla early anther eppadi irukum appadina, they have to develop as a homogeneous mass of cells. Okay, that is a so homogeneous type of cells. Homogeneous means so all the cells are similar to each other. Okay, so this all the cells are similar to each other. That's a homogeneous mass of cells. Okay, the homogeneous mass of cells are surrounded by epidermis. Okay ma, the homogeneous cells சுத்தி இருக்கக்கூடியது epidermis, epidermal cells. Okay, so the epidermis is the outermost layer. Okay, they have to protect the inner tissues. We know very well about the functions. Okay, so the homogeneous mass of cells, they have a ability to divide. Okay, that is here they have a potentiality to divide and they have to increase the size. So that is the homogeneous mass of cells are surrounded by a layer. That layer is known as a epidermis. So during this development we can see the structure. They have to change the structure. That is here that anther they have to assume a four-lobed structure. Okay, adu அப்படியே அதனுடைய structure வந்து கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா change ஆகும். Okay, it will be changed into a four-lobed structures. Assumes four-lobed structure. Okay, so the four-lobed structure is consists of a special cells or specialized cells are there. That is known as a hypodermal cells. Okay, in the four shape line நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா four lobes, it's look like a four lobes. Okay, so the four lobed cells consists of, that is hypodermal cells. The cells க்கு வந்து என்ன பேர் அப்படினா hypodermal cells. Okay, so the hypodermal cells are act as a archisporium. Okay, the hypodermal cells is enlarged in their size along with the conspicuous nuclei. Okay va, so the hypodermal cells na ulla irukku, edukulla irukkudu, that's assumes a four lobe and each lobe consists of a few rows or that more rows of hypodermal cells. Okay, the hypodermal cells becomes enlarged with conspicuous nuclei. Upon the hypodermal cells kulla nalla prominent nuclei is there. So that is act as a functions of archisporium. It's very 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 important one more question. So which cell is act as a archisporium? Okay, the hypodermal cells are act as a archisporium. So what about the epidermis? Epidermis is not originated from the archisporium. So remaining cells are originated from the archisporium. Okay, இதுக்கு முன்னால உள்ள செல்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஆர்கிஸ்போரியத்துல இருந்து வரல, இனிமே வரக்கூடிய செல்ஸ் எல்லாம் என்ன ஆகுது, that is developed from the developing from the archisporium cells. Okay, so that is the which one is act as a archisporium, that is hypodermal cells are act as a archisporium. Okay, so which is undergoing the divisions. So what type of division is occur in the archisporium? The archisporium cells are undergoing the, so that is a periclinal division. That division is called periclinal. Periclinal division. The division is periclinal division. It means the cells are divided based on the parallel cells. Okay, that is here the division is here parallel to each other. That division is known as a periclinal divisions. So the archisporium is undergoing the periclinal division to form two type of the cells. Okay, two layers are produced. Okay, so what are the two layers? So the archisporial cells divides periclinal division to form the primary parietal cell and primary sporogenous cells are formed. Okay, so primary parietal cells and primary sporogenous. There's a primary parietal cells and primary sporogenous cells. Okay, so where is the primary parietal cell? The primary parietal cells are formed in the outer regions of the cells. Okay, that is towards the outer side, towards the periphery. And sporogenous cell, primary sporogenous cells are formed in the center of the cells. Okay ma, appo primary parietal cells vandu periphery la form agudhu, primary sporogenous cells are formed in the center. Okay, so how it is formed? The archaeosporium cells are undergoing the periclinal divisions. Okay, the archaeosporium cells are undergoing the periclinal division to form a two layers. One is the primary parietal layer, another one is the primary sporogenous layer. Okay, so what about in the primary parietal layer? The primary parietal layer is undergoing the division. So what type of division is occur? It has a anticlinal division, anticlinal and periclinal division. It's very important one mark where anticlinal and periclinal division is occur in the anther. Okay, the primary parietal cells undergoing the anticlinal and periclinal division to form a four layers. Okay, so what are the four layers? The four layers are surrounded they have to surround the apical activity. Yeah, so that surrounds the anther. Okay, they have to anther cavity is there. So that is four layers are surrounds the anther cavity. Okay, that is your anther wall. Upon the four layers வந்து எதா form ஆகுது? anther wall form ஆகுது. Okay, so what are the anther wall? What are the layers in the anther wall? So that is the outermost layer, that is the endothelium, then middle layer and tapetum is arised from the primary parietal cells. Okay, when the primary parietal cells are undergoing the anticlinal and periclinal division, which gives rise to the anther wall. Okay, so that is formed from periphery to the center. Inga irundhu form agudha periphery la irundhu center. So first layer is epidermis, next to that layer is endothelium and another layer that is your middle layer and third layer is your tapetum. Okay, so inside the tapetum we can see the pollen grains. Okay, so the primary parietal cells undergoing the periclinal and anticlinal division to form four layers to form the anther wall. Okay, so that is endothelium, middle layer and tapetum that is formed from periphery to the center. So what is the periphery? That is from outer to the center regions. Okay, so periphery periphery is the outer region number 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, that is formed. So what about in the primary sporogenous cells? The primary sporogenous cells are undergoing the mitotic division to form a primary sporogenous tissues. Okay, so that process is called microsporogenesis. Okay, the stages involved in the formation of haploid microspores from diploid microspore mother cell through the meiosis is called, that's a microsporogenesis. Okay, so meiosis, that's the reduction divisions. Clear? For microspore mother cell irundhu da or haploid microspores vandu form aagudhu. Diploid microspore mother cell irundhu or haploid microspore form agudhu. That is considered that process is known as a microsporogenesis. So gametogenesis means the formation of the gametes. Okay, microsporogenesis means the formations of the microspore. Okay, so this is the filament containing the vascular strands in the center, that is a vascular tissues, connective tissues. Okay, so we can see the pollen grains in the inner regions. Okay, so that pollen grains are surrounded by a few layers, that is the tapetum and that's middle layer and another one is endothelium and epidermis. Okay, so here the pollen mother cells are diploid in conditions. Pollen mother cells வந்து எப்படி நமக்கு ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது அப்படினு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, the pollen mother cells, actually primary sporogenous tissues, primary sporogenous cells, okay, that is formed from the archaeosporium. The archaeosporiums are undergoing the parietal, that is a periclinal division to form a primary sporogenous cells, which is undergoing the mitotic division to form a primary sporogenous tissue. The primary sporogenous tissues are act as a microspore mother cells. Okay, then microspore mother cells undergoing the meiotic division to form a tetrad of 4 haploid microspores. Okay, so this is a haploid. This haploid is formed from the diploid microspore mother cell. You can see the diagram here, picture here. So this is a microspore mother cell is undergoing the meiosis 1. It is produced the 2 cells. Okay, meiosis 2, as a result of meiosis 2, 4 cells are produced. Okay, so the 4 cells are haploid in conditions. Okay, so now the microspores are, that is detached from each other. Okay, they separated from each other. So in the anther locule, anther kulla pollen grains irukku. Ipo ella everything is separated from one another, but everything is present inside the anther locule. Okay, so after the maturity, it will that is a dehiscence from the anther. Okay, but in some of the plants, so after this process, everything is separated from one another, but they have to form a single sac-like structure. So that condition is known as a pollinium. Okay, so if a microspore form anadhukku appuram, so all the pollen grains are separated, but they have to form a single sac-like structure, that is known as a pollinium. So we can see the pollinium in the Calotropis. Okay, Calotropis la pathina the pollinium structure nama paaka mudiyum. So what is in the pollinium? A pollinium is a small sac. It consists of the pollen grains. So that is attached to the corpusculum. Idoda attached aayirukku, corpusculatoda attached aayirukku. That is a main branch. Corpusculum is the main branch. Okay va? So that is attached to the corpusculum with help of a thread-like structure. So where is the thread-like structure? What is the name of the thread-like structure? So that is known as a retinaculum. This is called a retinaculum. Okay, so the pollinium is attached to the corpusculum with the help of the retinaculum. So this condition is called, that is a pollinium. So it means microspore form ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறமோ அது வந்து வெளியில வராம they have to form a together. All the microspore are so formed together. Okay, so that's look like a sac-like structures. Okay, so in the young stages, that is considered as a microspore. After the development, that is called by pollen grains. Okay, so this is a pollinium is very important 3-mark questions in 12th standard. Okay, please note down this. So what is the retinaculum? What is the corpusculum? Corpusculum is the main branch. Here, that is a pollinium is attached with the help of the retinaculum. Retinaculum is a small stalk-like or thread-like structure. Okay, the pollinia are attached to the clamp or clip-like structure is a corpusculum. Okay, there's a clamp or clip-like structure na corpusculum. அதே filamentous or thread-like structure அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, அது வந்து என்னது அப்படின்னா that is a retinaculum. Okay, with the help of the retinaculum that is attached. So this structure is look like that is a inverted letter Y. இத நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா Y தலைகீழ இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும், inverted letter, so Y. Okay, so this is, so I hope children you could understand this topic very well. So if you like this video, so just you have to like it, share it and subscribe it. We will see in the next video.